right. We'll cut it there. Appreciate you guys.
Can I take a quick picture so I can plug you guys on Instagram?
For sure. Oh yeah. Do you want to like the working face, or do you want the like?
I'm just gonna smile at the camera.
I want to kind of get the.
Eric, you go cheese it up.
I'm gonna cheese it up.
I'll send you guys a screenshot of this right here. If this is if y'all need something like more official something like that.
Welcome everybody to the Identity Booth. Today we have some special guests. First of all, I'm your host, BT Facts, Eric, and that is the main man Heero over there. We got two celebrities from Heroes High School. They are living legends in the flesh, and they are here with us to talk about a charity event that they are doing. And without further ado, Mr. Russo, if you want to take it away and share with the audience exactly what we're going to be doing in the challenge.
All right. So the challenge was inspired by two people. My love and following for David Goggins, who does a 4 miles every 4 hours for 48 hours challenge, but also through a good friend and mentor of mine, Dean of Students at Bremen High School, Dave Curtin. So I was fortunate enough to meet Dave Curtin a couple years ago. It's kind of interesting how people fall into your lives randomly. I was running on a treadmill at Anytime Fitness in Munster, and I see this gentleman running outside. It was January. It was snowing like crazy, and I was looking at myself saying, who's this crazy guy running outside? A couple months prior to that, I had stumbled across Goggins' podcast when he was talking about ultra marathons. That was just about a month prior to seeing Dave. He started talking about ultra marathons, and quite honestly, I never even knew people ran more than 26.2 miles. But I was intrigued by his story, and there was something about him talking about running these ridiculous distances that was intriguing to me. And I was like, I think I kind of want to run an ultra marathon. Interestingly enough, I had never run any race prior to that. So again, fast forward to January, I'm running on this treadmill because now I think I'm a runner, and I see this gentleman running outside. I'm done with the treadmill. I'm getting ready to leave, and he's coming in. We're crossing paths. And so I just, talked up to him real quick saying, hey, were you the guy I just saw running outside? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, I'm like, isn't it kind of cold and nasty out there? He's like, well, I run in this all the time. I'm training for an ultra marathon, and now I'm in here. I got 3 hours on the Stairmaster. Wow. And I was like, all right. So I said, look, yeah. So, they say that, people who run ultras, that maybe they're trying to fight off their demons, and there may be something to that. Because it seemed a little bit off to me as well. Like, all right. So, I just said, hey, I've been hearing ultra marathon has been on my radar now for the last couple of months, and I don't know why. I'm just getting into running. Would you mind if we exchange numbers? And, so I could just pick your brain a little bit. Running shoes, what's some good gear to wear, things of that nature. It's like, yeah, no problem. Found out that he's a dean at Bremen. He works with Flood's brother, so there was a connection there, the teaching background. So he's like, yeah, sure, just take my number and let me know if you have any questions. About 3 weeks go by, and I never called him. And I get a random text on a Thursday that says, hey, if you were serious about this running thing, I'm running 26 miles on Saturday. You want to join me for a few? I'll run to your house and pick you up. And if you know anything about me, if you call me out with something, I'm gonna step up to the plate. You can't call me out on stuff. So I said, yep. Yeah. I said, yep, right. I said, hey, let's do it. Here's where I live. So he showed up to my house, ran to my house from his house in Munster, and picked me up. We ran 10 miles together. I'm in Northwest Indiana, so we're about 5 miles away from each other. Okay. So for that guy, nothing crazy. Ran 10 miles together, and we got done. He's like, man, that was like the quickest 10 miles I've run in a long time. He's like, I'll pick you up again next weekend. And I said, yep, let's do it. Yeah. And so we just developed a friendship there. And within a month, I found myself running the trails in Payless for a 22-mile run with this guy. And that was my first introduction to what trail running was all about. And I'll be honest with you fellas, I fell in love with it. And it felt like the longer that I was out on those trails, the happier I was. They talk about a runner's high. I don't know if I've gotten that runner's high or if you know, it's just a state of euphoria where you're just, you know, you feel good.
Yeah.
And so at that point, that was kind of my introduction into running and trail running. And from there, he convinced me to sign up for an ultra marathon. Last May, he decided that he was going to do something similar, or he was going to do a fundraiser. His mother passed away tragically 25 years ago, and it's been hard on the family ever since. And during one of our training runs, he was like, you know, I've been looking for a way to just give back with all this running that I do. He's like, I just want to help people. And I remember telling him, like, hey, Dave, I don't know if you've noticed, but you've been helping me and mentoring me the last several months. And he's like, no, I want to do more. And we're out on a Sunday run. And he says, Chris, I figured out my scholarship. He had just bought a new watch that supposedly gets 36 hours of battery life on GPS. And he says to me, I'm going to run and see if I could outrun my battery on this watch to see if the 36-hour battery life is a real thing or not.
Wow.
He's like, in doing so, I'm going to raise some money in a scholarship in my mother's name. And so it was in May. It was 4 a.m. where I'm leaving his house in Munster, running the first leg with him. Yeah. And I finished my first leg with him just short of New Lenox. So if you're not familiar with the distances, we're looking at about 28 and a half miles that I ran with him. Wow. And from that point, I got my ride back home, and he continued on his journey to where he completed 135 miles over the course of 34 hours. I was able to watch him. I met him for about the last mile where I walked him back into his house with a number of his family members and friends. One of the funniest things, though, is when we got to the front of his house, he hit the stop button on his watch, and he looked and he said, damn it, I got 24% left on my battery. So the watch won. But in the end, the real winners were the students in District 228. He raised over $27,000 in scholarship money. And little did he know that he inspired me to want to give back, because it was at that time that I had this, you know, what can we do? What can I do? And fortunately enough, Altenberg's a lot smarter than I am, or at least thinks on his feet a lot better. When I was asking him about just a 48-hour endurance run, and he was like, hey, let's cut this down and let's do something bigger than ourselves and make this, about our students. How do you say no to that? Mm-hmm. So that's where that comes in. So what we're doing now is we're training for our May 7th and May 8th endurance run. We're not going to go Goggins crazy with it. We're going to cut it in half in 24 hours. So starting May 7th at 8 p.m., we are going to start our first 4-mile leg. And from that point, we're going to run 4 miles every 4 hours for 24 hours. We're going to start in Northwest Indiana. And the final leg of this endurance challenge is going to take us 3 miles out from Thornton Fractional North High School. We're going to make our way to the building, and then our track is 4 laps around as a mile. We will complete our endurance challenge with our final 4 laps around TF North's track, and that's where it ends on May 8th, the next day. So
that's awesome. That's an amazing thing to do, man. I'm so excited. And I'm like, now, man, I need to go buy me some running shoes and get out here and get off my butt. Yeah.
And if for all you people, because Heero's not running, but Heero will donate. That's not a problem. I know your limits, people. But for all you guys that want to participate in this, at the time that this is going to be available, if it is in the description right now, there is a sign-up sheet that will give you special little perks and gifts if you want to sign up and join them on their cause and run wherever you are in the world. So don't let quarantine hold you down. There will be an opportunity for you to participate. Or you can be like me. No shade. It's perfectly fine. Donate your money, sit down and enjoy a donut. Donuts are amazing. I don't know why people always have beef with donuts. Like, I have found them to be extremely useful in my life, and I have a Super Bowl ring, so I can't be wrong. I can't be wrong.
Okay.
But I really do want to stress that you guys are doing God's work, honestly, because there's been so much happening in the world, and for you guys to find a way to give back to your students, they don't know it yet, but you guys are going to change the outcome of their lives. And this
100%.
small gesture and this torture, as I can call it that, is going to make a world of difference to other people. Are you guys not a little bit concerned, Altenberg, about health and things like that? Are there any concerns like that? I mean, you guys are going to be putting yourselves with fatigue, hunger, strife. Like, are you a little concerned about those things?
Let me tell you this, Heero. I started from running 3 miles and stopping 3 or 4 times. And so every weekend we've been following a marathon training program. So every Saturday are the long runs. I'm concerned every Saturday because I keep seeing them go up. I keep telling Russo, 10 miles, I'm kind of worried about that. And then a couple of weeks ago, or last weekend, we ran a half marathon. It's 13 miles. I'm kind of concerned about that. It's coming up to next weekend. We're doing, not this weekend, but the next 15 miles. So every day is a concern for me, Heero. So, but talking with Russo and a lot of the training and everything that goes into these big races is you're training to go for that 24 miles or the 26.2 miles straight. So your body's kind of warm a little bit. So we're kind of factoring into a couple newer things that's going to be new for even Mr. Russo, that we're going to be stopping. We're gonna at certain places, and maybe the muscles are tightening up for, we have a couple layovers for a couple hours so we get to our next leg. So and then to factor in, we're going to be up all night. We're going to be teaching during the day, and then we're starting at 8 o'clock. So it's going to be more than 24 hours that we're sleep deprived. So that's another thing we're going to have to try and factor in. So we've been saying it's not only a physical thing, but it's a mental thing. But
absolutely,
as we talked about before, those are some of the things that our kids are going through on a daily basis. So we can endure those things for a 24, 28 hour period, whatever it is. And just keep those kids in mind. We've got kids that we've seen in our classes that are going through struggles now, that are maybe sophomores, juniors, and freshmen, that we're thinking of now. Like, hey, in a couple of years, this is going to be a person that we're going to think about when we're giving this award out. And we've been trying to keep, at least me, I've been trying to keep those kids in mind. Like, hey, this person's going through this right now. I can suffer a little bit more. I can these aches and pains in my legs and this labored breathing, I can go through this for another hour or 2 hours, knowing that those kids are doing that every single day.
Wow.
No, absolutely, absolutely. It goes without saying, there's a tradition there. North take care of their own, and it's like I said, I'm proof of that. And on behalf of the student body, alumni, anybody who's ever come across there, from the nights that we were fed before football games to make sure that all our players got to eat the night before a big game, we appreciate you guys going literally the extra distance, the extra mile for your students. And it means a lot to you guys. As me and Eric were talking before, we plan on giving you guys free and total access to our donation link. All proceeds that we receive till May 8th will go towards this objective, because we believe that the North body and the people on the identity booth, you guys out there, can make the difference for other kids. And you might not be able to run 24 miles, but we got 2 people that can. And if you got a little bit extra change in your pocket, that can go a mile for a bunch of kids who really need the help these days. So if you got it, put it forth, identify with each other. We really want to thank you guys for coming on the show and really giving us your stories on how you guys came to this conclusion, this crazy idea, what drove you to get to this point. So it really means a lot to hear you guys speak about it, and with passion. It really makes a difference. So we appreciate you guys joining us. Thank you so much. You can find us on all major platforms, including YouTube, right here in the comment section descriptions. Let us know if you guys are interested in joining. How far do you think you're going to run? Don't challenge me. I'm not running, but how far do you think you're gonna run? And if you are gonna make that distance, you can find us on Twitter, Instagram, Apple iTunes, all major podcasting platforms. Eric, did I miss anything?
I do.
Do you have to go save a life right now, Eric? You gotta.
Do
you gotta go be a hero right now.
I do.
You have to get off the podcast early, Eric.
For once.
It's time. You guys take care of yourselves. Be good to each other, throw on your mask and all that good stuff. Catch you guys on live stream Tuesday.
And I'm sleep deprived, shorty on my line, and we fuss and fight. Seems like every night, don't care who's wrong or right. I hope the end is sight. Slow it down and we can get catch the vibe.